Okay, so at the Goodwin Boxing HQ, I'm joined by Head of Boxing Steve Goodwin and also Goodwin Boxing's latest signing in super welterweight Sean Robertson. How are we doing, gents?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Very good.
So, Sean, just signed today with Steve Goodwin and Goodwin Boxing. Started your career, 20 years old. Just tell us a little bit about why you think now is the right time to turn professional.
I think I'm 20 now, feeling quite strong. Been training with Terry Stewart in Club K, I think it's called. It's been going really well. Sparring's been going good, so I think it's a good time to turn pro.
So 46 amateurs, 130 of them.
Yep.
What makes you think you can take that from the amateurs to the pros?
I think I've got quite a good style. I like to box, but I feel like good power and speed as well. I think I've got everything that I can use in the pro game, like speed and that as well, power.
So obviously you join your brother Luke Robinson, who's been signed to Steve for a while now. Was that the natural choice? Obviously you'd seen what's happened with Luke, you've seen how his career's progressed so far, and you obviously thought it was the right decision to make?
Yeah, he looks like he's improved a lot down there, so I think same will go for me as well.
So Steve, obviously Sean, only 20 years old, good amateur experience. What's the plans for him over for the first year the first year of his career? What's your plans for him for over the first 12 months?
When you're 20 and you're turning pro, it's like developing a baby school, isn't it? I mean, it's about, it's not, I know you're getting punched in the head, but it's really like the learning part, the nursery part of the job. Because what you do in that first year with a boxer can have a major impact on what happens in the rest of his career. If you mismanage that first year, the first 18 months, I've seen, you can ruin a boxer's career. I've seen, not with us by the way, but I have seen many occasions where a boxer who's aged under 22, 23, they've had their career ruined by mismatching errors made in how they've been brought along. And we will bring our fighters along gradually. And obviously when the time's right and Sean's got his full man strength, we'll be aiming for titles because he's definitely got the ability to do that.
Sean, just coming on a point there that Steve said there, obviously direct your man strength. At 20 years old, do you feel like now you're at a stage where you're getting stronger, you're hitting harder? Is that the kind of thing you'll be working on? Are you working on power now, or is it just keeping everything the same?
It's a lot inspiring. I'm feeling a lot stronger. Yeah, like people inspiring, so feeling quite good.
Steve, how does it vary in terms of how you would plot a fighter's career if you've got someone like Sean that's come from the amateurs where he's had quite a lot of amateurs, perhaps someone that's come from the unlicensed scene where they haven't had as much experience? Is there a difference between how you plot their careers?
Well, I do believe that amateur and professional are two totally different sports. So you do have to take it on board. And I think even if a lad comes from the unlicensed, I don't think there's any real difference in the way that you start their career in year one. What can happen is if somebody's come from the unlicensed, they may have to have a greater induction period into the pros, whereas the amateurs are ready to go on. But I think it's more relevant as to a fighter as to where they are in their lifespan. For example, just going off the subject, Justin Menzies, 33, after a 2-year ban at 2-0, is going in with Ryan Toms in July. Now that seems a crazy fight, but at 33 we have to go in, and if he's not good enough, he's not good enough. If he is, then he can move on and go on to titles quickly. When you've got a 20-year-old, you have to take a totally different stance. It would be crazy to put a 2-0 20-year-old kid in with someone like Ryan Toms. It would be like suicide. So every single fighter is individual, and that's what we do. We look at the fighter, look at how they're progressing, and every single one that we've got is individual, and that is the key. Well, they're not just numbers for us. Everybody is different. Everybody's different, has got a different career progression. Everybody's got a different point upon which they can be moved up in class. But it's important that they're not put in the really hard fights before they're ready for them, and that's the key, really.
So Sean, as Steve said there, obviously about the amateur career and how it's too different, the amateurs and the pros different. Is there anything you've been working on in the gym? I mean, I don't mean to give you any secrets, but is there a transition period that you're doing in the gym that's changing your style from the amateurs to the pros?
We've been focusing a lot more on defence. We have, like, there's a lot more like body sparring and stuff like that I haven't done in the amateur game. Maybe setting your feet a little bit more, like still keeping footwork is one of my strengths, I think. But maybe setting your feet a little bit more, a lot more dipping, head movement, stuff like that.
So obviously, only just starting your career, you're on the first step, the first rung, as it were, to go up your professional ladder. How far do you see you going at the end of your career? When you look back at it, what's the levels do you think you can reach?
I'd love to get to a British title level. I think that's the level I'd aspire to get to. But anything after that, see how it goes. Once I take it one step at a time. And
Josh asked you this question earlier on, and I'm going to ask you now in the interview. Between you and your brother, Luke, who's the better one?
I'll go for Luke.
And what makes you say that?
I just think he's a good fighter. He's quick. So yeah, think he's a little bit better than me.
Okay, Steve, so we're looking for Sean to go out in September, 24th September?
24th September.
Okay.
Big show which will feature Kay Prosper headlining in a massive fight and a couple of other big fights coming on. It's going to be a really great show and it'll be a good bill for Sean to make his debut on.
Okay, Sean, so 24th September. If people want to follow your career, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they get in contact with you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, it's just Sean Robinson, and Instagram, Sean Robinson 955.
All right, well, welcome to the team, and we wish you the best of luck for your debut in September.
Cool, cheers.